6 o'clock, folks. We'll go ahead and get started. I'd like to call this March 4, 2025 meeting of the Henderson City County Planning Commission to order. Got a big crowd here with us tonight. I still say welcome and thank you all for coming. We need your help. And Madam Secretary, would you please call the roll?
Yes. David Dixon.
Here.
Kevin Richards.
Here.
Bobby Jarrett.
Here.
Mac Arnold.
Here.
XR Royster.
Here.
Dickie Johnson.
Johnson.
Gary Gibson. Gray Hodge. Stacy Denton.
Here.
Kevin Herron. Frank
Here.
Boyette.
Heather Tays.
Here.
Okay, good. Secretary, do we have a quorum?
We do, thank you.
Thank you. We also have extra legal counsel with us this evening again.
Ashley Hanson. Nice to see you all.
Thank you for coming. Appreciate your go.
Thank you.
I need a motion to enter into public hearing. Second. Motion and second. Any discussion? All in favor of entering public hearing, say yes. Yes. Anyone opposed? Very good. We're in public hearing. The first item of business is approval of the minutes from our February 4 meeting.
Make a motion.
It's true. Motion and second. Discussion. All in favor of approving the minutes, say yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Any opposed? Minutes are approved. Okay.
You are muted.
Okay, good. Can y'all hear me? I'm muted. Okay. First order of business is this city zoning text amendments concerning the Henderson Innovative Planning District. I think Mr. Davis is going to help us.
Yes, sir.
I'll need your name,
Steve Davis,
address,
519 Bear Boulevard.
and you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Very good. This appears to be some extensive changes.
Yes, we found some problems with the HIP district and decided to address them, stemming primarily from some of the demands that in real life that paper doesn't really work well with. You know what I mean? So it looks good on paper, but in real life, when you go to constructing something, the dimensions don't really fit for what everybody really needs. So I'll go through this quickly. If I can get this thing.
Before we get into the specifics, what is the intent? What was the intent of creating such a district in our zoning regs?
That's the intent. I'll read it to you. The Henderson Innovative Planning District is intended to allow a compatible mix of mixed-use commercial and residential uses in dense pedestrian-friendly urban areas suitable for infill redevelopment. The HIP district is intended for properties located along major streets and bus routes with sidewalk, bike lane connectivity, located outside of existing single-family neighborhoods, and infill development should also take into consideration the existing density, built form, and uses of the surrounding neighborhood.
Where, just as an example, is this district in place now? Okay.
I'm working on this thing, I'm sorry. That's like, so
So that is South Main.
yes, you can see South Main.
Mr. Chairman, the parcels that are colored
Purple.
are the ones in question.
Yeah, thank you, Brian. So, as you can see, there's not a lot of properties here that are actually HIP district. And most of them have already been filled in. The infill's already taken place on most. There's one existing on Jackson, right here in this area that can still be filled in with development, but everything else has already been developed primarily. And what we found, and I'll just go through this. I'm sorry, guys. I think I'll go through this.
Do you want me to switch? You just tell me when to go.
Yeah, go. Okay, so this is the history. When this area was rezoned, the newly created HIP district anticipated a spur.
Mr. Chairman, I'm really sorry to interrupt, and I'm transmitting in the blind, but you guys are muted, so those of us on Zoom can't hear anything.
Okay. Thank you.
The host would like you to unmute your microphone. You could press star 6 to unmute.
Would you like to wait?
Please, yes, please.
You are unmuted.
Commissioner, can you hear us now?
Yes, we can hear you now. Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, would you mind asking folks on Zoom if they would turn their speaker down? I think that's what we were trying to.
If
If you're joining us via Zoom, could you check and turn down your volume on your speaker?
We're getting some
echoing in here.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. Davis, please
Mr. Davis, please proceed. Let us know if you need any more assistance.
I'm gonna try to do this. It's like talking on a cell phone whenever you get done that before you have this feedback. Okay. When this area was rezoned, the newly created HIP district anticipated the spur the development of mixed-use commercial development. However, this has not been the case. In fact, all development in the HIP district has been residential, single-family, and multifamily building units. Developers have found the current provisions for front yard setbacks and parking locations to be challenging and unfavorable for development of housing. So, what we have done, when we started to go over the HIP district with a fine-tooth comb, make sure that we're covering all the bases, making it more builder-friendly or developer-friendly. We looked and we saw that single-family housing was not even one of the permitted uses. Although it is included in the table later on in the HIP district. So while we're at it, we'll get it right. So we decided to add single-family housing as one of the permitted uses. You see section 34.02 where it was. Okay. And then another thing was in our table on section 34.03. You see there's a subsection 4. And it talks about balconies that extend 10 feet above the sidewalk that may approach the setback or right of way. We already have something in place with our zoning that would allow anyone that would like to do something like that to get a right-of-way encroachment through the city manager and board of zoning. So we already have that taken care of. We decided to take that off the subsection. This is probably the most limiting factor that we found in this particular ordinance for district. Is that we have a maximum front yard setback. There is not another maximum front yard setback in all of our ordinance zoning appendix A that is in the book. So what that means is someone can only put a house 10 foot from the front property line. That becomes problematic for a lot of people who like front yards, like the garden, things like that. So as far as development goes, this became kind of a brick wall, so to speak, that we had to overcome. So anyone that wanted to do something past that had to become before board of zoning adjustment to actually have the permission to build. And as we said, most of the infill is residential. You really haven't had any commercial here. So we also decided to revise the parking. So in the residential, single-family, duplex housing, we said on-site parking can be in the front yard. And then we did it as a conditional use for multifamily housing. Obviously, the original intent was to prohibit all front yard parking. But when it comes to residences, people like to drive into their driveway that usually is connected to the road. And it becomes problematic in that sense. Okay. We have other things that we have decided to change. I'll go through this.
Are there any questions from the planning commission so far? I know we're throwing a lot at you. Everybody good with what Steve's presented so far?
I believe so. I'm looking ahead, we've got entire drawings that are going to be
Yes.
omitted and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so,
When you go by page number, I'm on page 8, right?
yes, page 8.
Page 8.
So this is a drawing for what the parking should be or look like, or we decided to take that out when it comes to, if we are going to remove for single family. We decided to go ahead and remove those parking illustrations altogether. If you know, there is a contextual front yard setback that is kept. And we go on to page 10. On-site parking, shall be permitted front yard, that is actually, what I just mentioned, the residential. Flip the page, there is a, that's page 11, sorry. You see the drawing, we're taking the drawing out Sorry.
It's actually page 12.
Page 12.
Oh, sorry. Not a problem. Probably have more info than I do.
So my page 9 is the one that has 2 drawings X down.
Okay, so
That's my page.
You mind if I approach? Show you my drawing?
Yeah,
Is that the same?
that's
Your
the same page.
packet is one page off because you don't have the Zoom link included in your packet as the members do.
All right, so it would be, I guess, your page 9.
Yes.
Okay, and we omitted those as well, when it comes to parking illustrations for that reason. And then the other parking illustrations, we omitted those on page 12, I believe.
Yes.
Any questions for me?
It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, and really, this is to make it so that it's easier for developers to actually develop the remaining land that needs to be infilled. And like I said, there's not really much left.
So in general, this is loosening the setback requirement,
True.
parking requirement,
For residential, single family, and duplex, and then a conditional use for multifamily.
and the balcony thing.
The balcony thing, like I said, it's already covered. This is something we already do with right-of-way encroachment permit. So to have it on the table, I don't say it's redundant.
Mr. Chairman, I think what Steve's referring to is the city manager can authorize an encroachment into the city's right-of-way, so this becomes redundant, and it's something that the city manager can already approve.
Okay. So those are the 3 matters.
Big ticket items.
Discussed, right?
Yeah, the setback is the number 1, okay? The maximum setback. But everything else is pretty much.
So originally the way it was, you could not build a structure setback more than 10 feet.
Correct. And let me show you how problematic that is. If I were to build right here on these lots, if I only have a structure 10 foot back, that's into our 30-foot setback, our line of sight restriction. So it kind of becomes a problem on that side too.
Mr. Chairman, the original intent was so that they would be more walkable and more appealing to people that can just walk out their front door and then be on a sidewalk and then go towards downtown or go to other businesses. It's just, the current attitude in Henderson is not following that plan.
Well, but somebody can still, if they want it, build in that design, they may.
Absolutely. And if you notice on the table, there's a 0 front yard setback, but it's contextual at the same time. So if you have a house that is 20 foot back and you have a house that's, say 5 foot, whatever, you take the average of the 2 that are by it, and then they can go somewhere in between. So it all kind of matches the neighborhood, if you will.
And that's shown on page 8, if you'd like to look at it in your packet.
You mean page 9?
Yes.
Sorry.
You don't have the same thing either.
Okay. Is there anything else that we need to, that pretty much?
From my perspective, that's everything.
Does the commission have any questions for this gentleman? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Commission have any questions for staff on this matter?
Is this a motion to recommend adoption, or is this a motion to adopt?
Motion to recommend.
Is there anyone else here this evening who would like to address this issue? We are in public hearing. Okay. If no one has any further questions or comments, I'll entertain a motion in regard to the proposed zoning text amendments to Article, 24, the Henderson Innovative Planning District as recommended.
34, Mr. Chairman.
I'm sorry, 30.
Mr. Chairman, I offer a motion to recommend approval of the city zoning text amendments, Article 34, Henderson Innovative Planning District, Section 34.02, permitted uses, Section 34.03, lot and building standards, Section 34.05, parking as reviewed.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Kevin Richard.
Yes.
Bobby Jarrett.
Yes.
Mac Arnold. Mac Arnold. Mac.
Yes.
XR Royster.
Yes.
Dickie Johnson.
Yes.
Stacy Denton.
Yes.
Kevin Herron.
Yes.
Frank Boyette.
Yes.
Heather Tays.
Yes.
Very good, thank you. The motion passes. Next item on the agenda would be a proposed text amendment to the county zoning text having to do with battery energy storage systems. Mr. Bishop, can you help us there?
Yes, sir. County zoning text amendment, Article 32 of the Henderson County zoning ordinance, battery energy storage system of the Henderson County zoning ordinance by amending section 32.04, item B, subsection 4, as follows with deletions in bold strike through and insertions in bold underline. You should see on your agenda the phrase, or I'm sorry, the portion of the paragraph that is written as where required by the Kentucky State Fire Marshal Hazardous Materials Division is struck. And then we will also strike the lowercase a, start the sentence with a capital A there. And then several lines down, the word also is being struck. And I have a brief statement to read into the record from the county judge. He was unable to make it. Ryan, please relate to the commissioners that the fiscal court has submitted this proposed text ordinance as a means of assuring that no possible scenario could result in BESS developers not having to create the safety evaluations and plans described in that section of the ordinance, and also be certain that all circumstances that the volunteer fire department chief whose district the BESS project is planned has the ability to deny a BESS project's permit application if he or she or their designee do not feel confident in those plans. We believe the current text does create a slight possibility that those requirements could be circumvented and would eliminate that chance. With that, I'll do my best to answer any questions that you have on that. And the quick paraphrase version of it is the volunteer fire department chief of whatever district it's in would have the authority to say, no, we cannot support that, or yes, we do support it. And from a planning commission staff standpoint, we would ensure that through the site plan process, where we would require a signature from the appropriate fire chief there. So that is how we plan to address that moving forward.
Any questions from the commission for staff? Seems to me that as it was originally written, these local reports will only be required if it was required by the Kentucky State Fire Marshal.
I believe that's correct. And they wanted to take out any gray area.
Right. So they're going to produce this report in any case.
For all proposals.
Okay.
Yeah, the shall locks it in.
Yes. Any other questions? If we don't have any questions or comments, I guess we should ask anybody else here. Okay, I guess I'll entertain a motion in regard to this, the proposed change to the county zoning text amendments.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to offer a motion to recommend to the county the zoning, to approve this county zoning text amendments, Article 32 of the Henderson County Zoning Ordinance, Battery Energy Storage System, BESS, of the Henderson County Zoning Ordinance by amending Section 3204B4 with the deletions that was read into the record.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Kevin Richard.
Yes.
Bobby Jarrett.
Yes.
Mac Arnold.
Yes.
XR Royster.
Yes.
Dickie Johnson.
Yes.
Stacy Denton.
Yes.
Kevin Herron.
Yes.
Frank Boyette.
Yes.
Heather Tays.
Yes.
Very good, motion passes. I think that concludes the public hearing portion of the meeting. I'll entertain a motion to leave public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor of leaving public hearing, say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed?
Yes.
Very good, we're out of public hearing, on to the February finance report. I think Ms. Thompson's going to help us with that.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. We are looking at the month of February's financials. We are 8 months into this fiscal year. Looks like we're doing really well. We're at 63% of our budget, and I'm here if you have any questions.
Any questions? If there are no questions, I'll entertain a motion in regard to the February finance report as presented.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion to approve and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of approval, say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed?
Yes.
Very good. Finance report.
Yes.
Thank you. Finance report's approved. On to the bond report. Ms. Marks.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have 2 items on there. If you all remember, last month we reviewed Little Caesar's entrance and driveways that they had not completed. The day after our meeting last month, they did get that completed. And I referred to the city engineer for an update on that, and he said the project was complete. So we did go ahead and release that bond since it was not an infrastructure improvement that would need to be accepted by the city for maintenance. So that has been completed there. The second project we have is new Lot 2, Amiot Road. I don't remember if it's probably been about a year now since we've done that. We do hold a bond for the entrance as well as screening on that one. After referring with the county codes administrator and the engineer, no work has been completed there. The trees were planted for screening, but they have not grown yet, so we will maintain that bond at the same amount for 1 year.
Any questions from the commission concerning the bond report? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of approving the bond report as presented, say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed?
Yes.
Any opposed? Very good. The bond report is approved. Administrative business concerning rezoning 1174. Ms. Marks.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. If you all will remember, at last month's meeting, you instructed staff to come back with findings of fact for the rezoning for the Yogi Kupra properties out on 60. If you will look in your packet on page 20, I believe you do have a copy of the narrative development plan that they have signed and submitted that we will record with an LUR, including the things that we did discuss last meeting to include, that we would like for them to include limiting the uses and highway commercial to what they are doing. And I do have all of that written into the findings if you're ready for me to read those into the record.
Commission ready to hear the proposal?
Yes, please.
Okay, yes, please proceed.
Rezoning number 1174 with a development plan submitted by Yogi Cooper Properties LLC for the property located in the city of Henderson at 2950 Highway 60 East, being parcel ID number 65-30, containing approximately 0.8 acres The applicants have submitted a zoning change map amendment with a development plan to rezone from city general business to city highway commercial. A proposed motion would be, I move that the planning commission recommend that the Henderson Board of Commissioners, the city, approve rezoning application 1174, changing the zoning classification from general business to highway commercial with both a graphic and narrative development plan for the addition of a larger sign, subject to the applicant limiting the use of the property to only the existing use, with any changes coming back to the planning commission in the form of a rezoning for approval, and that all applicable state, local, and federal sign requirements are met prior to the installation of the renovated sign. I leave the motion open for other members of the planning commission to add findings of fact in support of this motion, because the future land use map of the comprehensive plan shows the area developing in a commercial nature. The applicant has included a narrative development plan limiting the use of the property to the existing use, a gas fuel station convenience store, including typical hot food, which is customarily provided in a convenience store, which the applicant is already doing. And the applicant has also reached out to the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet and received next steps for installing the electronic message board.
Okay, thank you. Commission have any questions in regard to this proposed motion and findings of fact?
So is the graphic development plan still outstanding, or is that what page 21?
That was submitted last month.
Okay, so that's what we reviewed last month.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
We just wanted to add a narrative development plan limiting the uses on that.
Any other questions? Very good. I'll entertain a motion in regard to this proposal.
This will be on the recommendations of the city?
Correct.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to adopt and recommend to the city the rezoning on 1174 that Ms. Marks presented to the planning commissioner.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Kevin Richard.
Yes.
Bobby Jarrett.
Yes.
Mac Arnold.
Yes.
XR Royster.
Yes.
Dickie Johnson.
Yes.
Stacy Denton.
Yes.
Kevin Herron.
Yes.
Frank Boyette.
Yes.
Heather Tays.
Yes.
Very good. Thank you. The motion passes. We're down to other business. I think Ms. Thompson has something she wants to share.
Yes, I am down to missing just 2 of the direct deposit forms. And you can get those to me tonight, or I know one is online, so have that emailed to me as soon as possible. And your first payment will be going out at the end of this month, and I will make sure to send emails to each and every one of you so that you'll know to check your bank account
Okay.
for that deposit.
Thank you. Anything else we need to bring forward tonight? Bishop?
No, sir.
Anything? Anyone else has anything they'd like to discuss? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of adjournment, say yes.
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 Any opposed? Very good. We stand adjourned, folks. Thank you all very much.